Hey y'all, hi. It's time for another episode of New Makeup Hot Takes, the video in which I react to products that are new to the makeup market, not new to the makeup. Beauty products that are new to the market. I'm trying to do this more frequently as the holiday releases roll out, and I'm kind of on a mission to find out what kind of color story and beauty vibe we are feeling is festive this year. There's a surprisingly large number of things to talk about, given that I feel like I just filmed one, but maybe it was like 3 weeks ago. Anyway, if you're new, I'm Hannah. Welcome to my channel. This is a beauty channel, but I also make videos about fashion and other aesthetic concerns. And if you like it, I hope you'll subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. New makeup, hot takes. New makeup, hot takes. Okay, first up, new Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, and I really do have a hot take. Actually, that's not true. A hot take, should we have the journalistic definition as we used to always do? In journalism, a hot take is a piece of deliberately provocative commentary that is based almost entirely on shallow moralizing in response to a news story, in this case a beauty news story, usually written on tight deadlines with little research or reporting and even less thought. So this isn't a hot take. This is actually a slow simmer, a slow cooked take that has simmered over many years, but that some might consider hot because it's unpopular. What I'm going to say might be unpopular. It's actually not a hot take. It's an unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion for me, right? It's my personal opinion. It's my opinion. It's my personal experience. In my experience with my color preferences, with my tones, my hair, my skin, Lisa Eldridge is not on the wavelength with color. And I speak as someone who has reviewed so many Lisa Eldridge releases, starting with the lipsticks at the very beginning when they first launched. I've reviewed so many Lisa Eldridge products that I stitched all of the videos together into one long mega Uber video, like hours and hours of me reviewing Lisa Eldridge products. And I will link that down below in case you'd like to watch it and you haven't seen it yet. A great video to watch when you're falling asleep at night, or so I've been told by many, or doing housework. Time and time again, I have been fooled by looking at a picture like this of the color range of Lisa Eldridge lipsticks or eyeshadows or something. I have been fooled by seeing that there is one that looks like it would suit me because it looks truly neutral, like not leaning pink, not leaning orange. In this case, it's the one in the bottom right-hand corner. Of all of these, it's the one that looks the most brown. And every time I have reviewed some color cosmetics from Lisa Eldridge, I've always bought the one that looks the most brown. In the images, it'll look putty colored. It'll look a little bit grayish, like it has a drop of green mixed into it. And then it will arrive and I will put it on my lips and it will be, my friends, pink. And it will be pink and sometimes like a pinky orange. I think that all of these colors are just closer to primary, closer to the middle of the spectrum of color, closer to pure. They're closer to pure than maybe they look. I wonder if as a makeup artist, Lisa Eldridge is always kind of playing to a common denominator. So she's trying to find that middle ground. She's trying to find that balance. In my experience, she rarely takes a color and kind of pushes it quite far in a direction of muckiness or a certain undertone or drama unless it's like a really rich red. And indeed, the one Lisa Eldridge lipstick that endures in my collection, and I've reviewed many, is Velvet Dragon, a really incredible red for someone with my coloring. But all of the others I've ended up giving away because when I look at the imagery, I think that they're going to be subtle on me in some way, and then they just end up being kind of ham-fisted. Like the color ends up being a bit ham-fisted on me. I know better now than to be enticed by this launch because I can tell that every single color in this launch would be like that on me, just would not sing in that way. But that's me, right? I have, I think, a fairly, well, maybe it's not that unusual because I hear from a lot of pale olives in my comments. So I was going to say a fairly unusual complexion because very, very pale and super neutral olive. But I think more than that, maybe just a like historically uncatered to complexion in beauty. So there just maybe isn't as much resource in labs or as much thought put into the kinds of colors that I know that I end up getting along with when color ranges are being developed. So there's that. And also I have specific color desires. I think that there are plenty of people who maybe have my complexion, but they like wearing pink, maybe just in terms of what colors they vibe with. Because I know that there are some colors that look good on me, but I just don't like wearing them because they don't feel like me. It's like a niche inside of a niche. What I'm looking for is basically Maybelline Gone Greige. And Lisa Eldridge just isn't interested in that kind of color for lip colors. So I can sit back, I can look at this and I can say, say. Lisa is brilliant. The packaging is beautiful. It's really cool that these are refillable. It's great that we're moving in a sustainable direction. I'm glad that so many people are made so happy by this, by Lisa Eldridge and what she's doing. I think it's all very elegant, and I'm just going to sail on past. Just waiting out this plane, whatever that is. Okay, sort of on the flip side, although maybe not the flip side, but like the other side of the same coin. When I'm making this video, I scroll through Trend Mood 1, which is an Instagram account that posts about new beauty. I just select the things that make me sit up straight for one reason or another, right? I'm not talking about every single thing. I'm just talking about the things that made me go, aha, I have something to say about that. And sometimes I just grab it because I'm like, it looks so yummy. I love makeup, because I don't really feel that way all that much anymore. I have like fewer and fewer desires for makeup, meaning like my scope has narrowed, right? In terms of what I want. It used to be that I wanted to try absolutely every color and every finish, everything under the sun. And I wanted more and more and more. And I just wanted to try a different thing every day when I was like 10 years younger. But now I'm older and my lifestyle is such that I'm more interested in wearing what I know I really love 10 days in a row, and my collection being smaller. And at the same time, because I now work in this industry, I have an abundance of things to try. So I've really flipped into having more than what I specifically want, whereas before I wanted way more than what I could afford to have. So when I see something that's new in beauty and I'm like stars in my eyes, then I want to talk about why is it giving me that feeling, because there must be something there. So this Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Balm Gloss and Juicy Lip Plump. I've talked about the glossy balm before, and I know I like a glossy balm. The thing that makes this stand out is that it looks like a new formula, which is really a lip oil in a clicky tube where it comes out a little sponge tip, kind of like the old Maybelline concealer under. I like sort of weird packaging, but that implies a viscous liquid that makes me want it. And the imagery is great. These glossy lips. This is still, even going into winter, it's like, this is what I want my lips to look like. I'm into products that are thickly shiny like this. I'm really into this right now, if they're lip treatment products instead of being just straight up lip glosses. And that seems to be what Tarte is promising here. However, kind of like the Lisa Eldridge, the shades are a little bit middle of the road. Everything's a little bit too saturated, right? There isn't anything with that touch of gray that really makes my heart go pitter patter. I mean, the way that some of these colors look, like dragon fruit and currant, the way that they look on the models with mid-toned and dark skin is subtler, and I find that really beautiful. So I'm looking at these and I'm seeing those swatches, like that imagery, and I'm like, wow, that color is so beautiful. That lip looks so beautiful. But then I look at the way that it looks on the lightest skin model and I'm like, oh, that's not a look that I want for myself. So I do think these colors are really beautiful. The range is beautiful and has the potential to be subtle in that way, but not for me. I'm excited by the formula. I hope that we continue in this vein of juicy lip treatment products. But this particular release from Tarte specifically, again, I can sail on by. Easy pass. A less easy pass. Look at this product photography where they're all stacked up. I'm talking about the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Eye Illusion Eyeshadow Duos. I can kind of see this being the serve of the holiday season. I think people are really going to want these. That's what I want. They're doing that thing. They're threading that needle. They're walking that line. It's giving holiday excitement, right? It's giving the weather's cooling down. I'm thinking of getting a little treat for myself vibes. It's giving holiday party. It's giving New Year's Eve. It's giving something I could wear through the holiday season and beyond. And they're small enough because it's just a little duo. And I assume affordable enough. Yeah. So expensive, $42. It's actually very expensive. I feel like at $39 even, we'd be getting a little bit more play. You know what I mean? So $40 is like pricey, but it's a good little balancing act between covetability, luxury. It's seasonal. The price is high, but not like $100. You know what I mean? It's also small. So it's just like a little thing. It's not this huge hulking palette that you invest in and it's sitting around making you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to use it. I'm not getting my money's worth. And so wearable. And the colors, it's mostly neutral, but then there's a little bit of color. I'm going to get to the magenta in a second. Don't worry. I see it there. Okay. Exquisite. If I had a makeup line, I would be proud to release something like this for holiday. I really think it's being done well. I want all of them except for the magenta one. They look so sparkly. I just think this is so well calibrated, so well timed, so well designed. It's exciting to see it. I probably won't buy one. Maybe I'll try to swatch them in Sephora at some point. the reason I probably won't buy them is that I have sparkly eyeshadow. I arguably today look like I'm wearing this, right? I'm wearing one of the Armani eye tints with the topper from Auric Defiance on top of it. I have plenty of like a bronze paired with a sparkly gold in my life. I can do what I would do with whichever one of these I would buy with what I already have. So that makes it something that I can just take a deep breath and move on from, you know, because I know that the excitement is about the newness, the novelty, the imagery, all of that. If I were to buy one, it would just be because it would be exciting to have a new little treat and to play around with the formula. You know, it would be for all the reasons that I've kind of described. And if I felt like I had $42 to spend, it was like the right place and the right time, maybe I would buy one. All of that I think is just great. I just think it's great. I love seeing a little bite-sized thing like this, bite-sized perfection. And I just love these neutrals, that plummy brown one, the shades of bronze. It's good. Last thing of note before we move on from this. In recent new makeup hot takes past, the last one and the one before, I was starting to tiptoe into holiday releases, holiday eyeshadow palettes. I was seeing like magenta in them and saying, is this what we're going to be seeing? Like, is this what holiday is going to be about? Is this a color story? Are we going to have pop of fuchsia in all the eyeshadow palettes and on all the makeup? I felt it was a little bit too soon to tell. And I still feel like it might be a little bit too soon to tell, but it's interesting to note that that is the color, the pop of color that Patrick Ta included here. This didn't have to be pink. It could have been these 4 neutral duos and then one with like a strong emerald green and a light green. It could have been a strong jewel toned blue, like a Prussian blue or an azure and a light blue topper. It didn't have to be pink. It would have still worked with any of those other jewel tones, essentially. It could even have been more of a red than a magenta, and I feel like it would have still worked. So it's just interesting to note that, yet again, we're seeing this fuchsia color pop up in holiday makeup. Oh, and I was going to try to remember to continue to be the beauty exec of beauty at large. This, by the way, is the Amicole lip gloss, lip treatment oil in the shade Excellence. It never gets old. You know, Patrick has brought this to the table, brought this to the meeting, and basically I'm like, you're getting a promotion. We're putting it into production, Patrick, and you're getting a promotion. If this is what holiday looks like, I mean, the magenta, okay, I see why you did that, right? It's because we're seeing it all around. I would have actually liked to see the green. I would have liked to even see like a black and a black with gold shimmer in place of that magenta. I wonder if with putting that pink in there, Patrick is trying to like only put one foot into holiday, but also keep it feeling a little bit seasonally neutral, you know, which I respect. That's my least favorite thing about it. If you're going to put it there, putting it in this format where you can buy one that isn't the one with pink in it is the way to do it. I love it. Okay, we are talking in one swell foop about advent calendars by talking about this Guerlain advent calendar. $750. $750. Did you hear me? $750 for a bunch of little tiny minis, samples of like mostly skincare and scent, mini scented candles, miniature soaps. I think there might be one lipstick in here. Nope, it's a mini mascara. I thought it was going to full-size mascara. Okay, I think there is one lipstick like in the lid. Do you see my face here while I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this? I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what angle to take with this. But I think for me, the best angle is like the practical experience angle. Just think about all of these things taken out of the packaging and sitting in your bathroom, on your bathroom vanity, on the sink, or whatever. Little tiny bottles and vials, little tiny bits of perfume, little tiny bits of eye cream, like 5 milliliters of eye cream, a tiny scented candle, which I'm not saying that it's not nice to burn a little scented candle or something, but it's so much packaging compared to how much substance is in it. And all those little things, like they're dinky, they're hard to use. It's hard to like spray a teeny tiny spray bottle. It's hard to get a satisfying spray. A little tiny candle. It's like, how long does it really burn? How much wax is in there? You end up with just all of this like half-used packaging, eye cream. How much can you get out at a time? A tiny little bullet lipstick. It's like rattling around in there and it gets squashed down. It's like little garbage, little bits of garbage. And yes, I mean, if you're interested in smelling like one of these perfumes, I just feel like get free samples of all the Guerlain perfumes until you figure out which one is your correct Guerlain scent, the one that smells really good on you, and then buy a whole bottle for less than $750, hopefully. It's not even about like, is it good value for money? It's just definitely not. It's definitely you're buying the experience and the exclusivity and all of this stuff, or maybe they're trying to generate talk by charging so much for this thing. Maybe they're trying to generate drama. Maybe I'm playing right into their hands. But to me, it goes beyond even that. I actually don't even see the appeal of a whole bunch of little trial-sized bits of skincare, teeny tiny trial-sized bits of perfume, when for skincare, it's like you want to be using something consistently so that you can see results. And that's like for you to have a mini and then you like it and then you go buy a full size, that's something they should be giving you for free, like at the counter, at the Guerlain counter at Bloomies or whatever, so that you'll fall in love with it and then come back and buy the full size. That's not something you should be paying $750 to then want a full size of. Not even the money economics, but the economics of desirability and like product loyalty and identity, especially with scent. I know some people love collecting a ton of scents, and those people are their own category. I think most people are looking for a couple of signature scents. And if you want your signature scents, you find them and then you want big bottles of them. But also those collectors, I feel like they don't want to just smell from a tiny vial. They also collect large full-size bottles of perfume because the bottles are sculptural and owning the whole bottle is like its whole own thing. Who are the people who are out here wanting teeny tiny sample-sized, dinky, rollerball or don't spray very well minis from an advent calendar in their scent library or in their lives at all? Especially if you can afford to pay $750 for this, then you are in a bracket, then you're in a financial situation where you can afford quality over quantity. And this is the absolute definition of quantity over quality. Everything to me about it is wrong. And I feel like you can kind of take what I just said and apply it to every single advent calendar, every single beauty advent calendar. It's particularly egregious. It is honed to a particularly crystalline point with this one from Guerlain, but it applies to all of them, I feel. Moving on. Oh, an absurd thing that I kind of love. Rabanne 1969 Makeup Clutch Highlighter. All right, the reason that I love this is not the reason that you might think. It is a makeup compact styled to look like a gold clutch that is apparently an iconic piece of Rabanne design. And I don't know if you have to buy the charms separately or if it comes with the charms and you just clip them on wherever you want. It's a makeup compact that has this long chain, so it looks like it could be worn as a clutch. I don't think people are going to be carrying it around as a clutch. It's kitschy, whatever. That's fine. That's not the kind of thing that usually makes me want to buy something, and it doesn't make me want to buy this. But the thing that interests me about this is it says it's a highlighter, but it's just this gold powder, and the close-up image of somebody wearing it that's showing like what it looks like, it's on the model's eye as eyeshadow and cheek. And you can see it's just this gold powder just like on the face. It's just, I got this product and I'm like just sticking it all over like with your fingers. That's what this looks like. I just like that it's a throwback to an iconic piece of Rabanne design from the past, but it also feels like a sort of return to basics with how one might interact with one's makeup. It's like buy this expensive gold powder that's more about the delivery mechanism than it is about the powder itself, and then just put it all over your face. Have it be like your makeup, like this is my makeup, and I just like put it here and put it there and put it all over everywhere. I just like the way this product is like teaching us a new way of thinking about how one would interact with makeup, and it's kind of bohemian and it's kind of messy and casual. It's clearly, you know, expensive designer fancy stuff, but then you just kind of go wild with that and relax into it, and it's about the way your face looks with just sparkle on it rather than being about meticulously transforming the shape of your face with product. And I'm into that. It just gives me a vibe that I like. Not only the gold powder, because there are plenty of gold highlighters in the market, not only the kitschy packaging, because I'm not even that into that, but the combination of the two, all of it together, it gives me a vibe that I like. Oh gosh, this is the type of thing that I never talk about anymore on New Makeup Hot Takes. It's a collab collection. So a makeup brand doing a collab with IP, intellectual property, with a show. I never talk about it. I'm not going to go on at length about it in this case because I don't buy makeup because it has a character's face on it, right? I buy makeup because I want to use it on my face. I usually just skip because I'm not interested. This is Fenty Beauty Arcane, the Netflix show. I love this show. And I've only seen the first season. This makes me think there must be a second season. Hold on. Oh, it's about to come out. That's what's happening. Oh, it's about to come out November 2nd. This is what's happened. I've gotten my news, my life news from Beauty News. Announcement, red alert, siren emoji, Arcane season 2 is dropping on November 2nd. You have this many days, probably none by the time this is out, to get caught up by watching the first season. Y'all, it is so good. And I love an animated show. I know we're getting off topic here. I should just save it for what's cheering me up right now. I love an animated show for grown-ups. I love an origin story. And I think that this is based on a video game. I don't even remember. League of Legends. Is that right? I don't know what League of Legends is. I've never played it. I don't know anything about it. But I love an origin story, even if I don't know the story that it's the origin of, I'm sure I talked about it when I first watched it. I'm so glad they made the season 2. I'm so glad that I've learned from Fenty that it's coming out. No interest in the makeup at all. Very interested in watching season 2 of Arcane. Okay, Natasha Denona Roxa. I don't even need more lip gloss. I need to get myself together. I need to get my thoughts together. Natasha Denona Roxa. Right off the bat, I looked at it, I was like, I don't like it. And I think that's because it has that swirled pan in there. That was kind of cool when I think Huda Beauty started doing it years ago. Now it always looks a little gimmicky to me because it's like, what are we getting out of that? Not either of the colors you see, but some swirled thing. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, it's actually kind of cool. I don't know. There's something about my makeup instinct. I look at that and I'm like, oh, they had to put one of those swirled pans in there based on nothing. I don't even have one. I don't know. It cheapens it to me for some reason that I'm leaving sort of semi-unexamined and probably isn't valid. So that was my first instinct. Then I read the description, inspired by the Lila palette, which was a great eyeshadow palette because it had those beautiful, dusky, taupey, mucky, greigey, dirty plum, like the dirty, sheeny plum, super velvety, matte, taupey, ashes of roses colors. You know, it had also some brilliant purples, but it leaned on those wildly perfect purple toned neutrals, which are totally absent from this palette. This is like if the Lila palette had a less refined younger sister. That's how I feel. If the Lila palette turned into a cartoon version of itself. It's like if the Lila palette was kids makeup, this is what it would look like. And I just have no interest in it at all. And this is quite apart from the fact that I don't particularly love purple eyeshadow on myself. Or maybe it's not apart from that. Maybe if I did love purple eyeshadow, probably if I did love purple eyeshadow, I would think that there was a lot that was good about this. What I will say is Natasha Denona has been releasing a lot of neutral palettes, like the bronze version of this, the sort of silvery version of this, the nude version of this, the worm version of this, you know? So for people who love Natasha Denona's formulas and love color, it's great that they're getting thrown a bone. A purple, glittery bone. Ugh, Glossier with the brown lip glosses. What is it that they released? Oh, I haven't reviewed Glossier stuff in a long time. They released, I think it was like a foundation and then recently a scent that I'm kind of curious about. And a lot of you are like, please review it. And so I've kind of had it in the back of my mind to maybe at some point in one of these months, sometime in the next 6 months, buy a couple things from Glossier and do a review, an update, checking back in with Glossier, etc. This really makes me want to do it. Espresso. Although I wouldn't want the espresso flavor in the Balm.com. I just want this dark brown color, but you can't have one without the other. The Biscotti one also looks really beautiful, even though it's kind of warm. Maybe it would be cookie butter for me or hot cocoa. I'm so into lip balm right now, and all of these brown fall lip balms are tugging on my heartstrings. But is there a chance that any one of them is better than the Ami Collet lip treatment oil in the shade Excellence? No. There's not a chance. Okay, continuing to talk about lip glosses. Isamaya LIPLACQ 2.0 Maximizing Lip Serum. So is it 2.0 because it's a new formula? I think so. Well, bee-stung lips without the needles. Lips are left plumped with a vinyl-like finish. Supreme shine without the stick. I'm gonna look at the Isamaya website. Oh yeah, it's the same product, but with 3 new shades. So the original Black Veil, I wanted to talk about this because I recently tried it on again in that video in which I tried on 45 of my lip products, which is pretty much my whole collection of lip products, almost my entire collection, and kind of checked back in, did some decluttering, got back in touch with the way things looked on me. Isamaya Black Veil, when I first put it on, I was like, I prefer these subtler browns these days. But the longer I had it on when I was filming that video, and then also when I watched back the footage, the more I was like, it's still such a serve. It's such a good product. It's so special. That sheer black and the way that it lights up the face, transforms the features, is a little bit grungy without being too overwhelming, too vampy. I love it so much. For some reason, it's sold out on the Isamaya website. It's like a burgundy. If you look at the imagery, like the product imagery, it's like a burgundy black. Beetle, which is a new release, it looks much more pigmented. And then Metal is like a silvery gray, which looks a little bit more like the level of pigment that Black Veil had. They're all kind of interesting. I mean, this is the thing that kind of sold me on the brand, even though I didn't like the eyeshadow palette when I tried it. I'm still a big fan of Isamaya LIPLACQ, honestly. So I'm glad that it's doing well enough, that people like it enough that they're continuing to release new shades. I hope that Black Veil is just sold out because people are buying it and not because it's like not been continuing to be in production. Okay, FML, as the kids say. FML, Rhode Barrier Butter. I still haven't filmed my Rhode review. I'm going to do it soon. I love all of the products, especially the cleanser and the makeup. But I like the moisturizer too. And this Barrier Butter for $22, the exact kind of thing. Oh no, the big one is $38. Small one's $22. The exact kind of thing that I like in the winter. I immediately want it. Very unlike me. When I was preparing for this video, I saw that this was released today as I sit here filming, October 28th. I went to the Rhode website and it was already sold out. Oh no, it probably just hadn't launched yet. It's available now. Okay, now I'm going to sit with it for a little while and decide if I really do want to do that. Preview of my Rhode review. After having unfairly panned this brand in multiple New Makeup Hot Takes videos, once I tried it, I became so converted that I'm in this zone where I would like pretty much buy anything that Rhode releases. Not the phone case though. I'm tempted. I'm not going to say I'm not tempted because it would be so great to have my favorite lip balm with me on my phone at all times. Maybe I should get the phone case. And just to be clear, I probably wouldn't know who Hailey Bieber was if I saw her walking down the street. It's not about that for me. I try a lot of makeup and skincare and I really got into this gig, okay? Lastly, I pulled up this Dolce & Gabbana holiday collection to talk about because I'm trying to peep trends in holiday makeup, color trends. So I'm especially paying attention to what the luxury brands are doing. And this, it's like, I guess it makes sense to look at this because they clearly agree that the concept of jewel tones is trending. They're calling it the Gemstone collection. And there's like a purple gem. There's a little gemstone on the lid of each one of the 4 lipsticks that's in the collection. One is a ruby red, one is an amethyst purple, one's an emerald green, and one is a sapphire blue. But the lipsticks themselves are just pink and red. The eyeshadow compact has this like ruby red gem looking cover, but the eyeshadows themselves are just shades of neutral, like pinkish, silvery. It's all just very, very neutral. It's like they knew that gemstones and jewel tones would be what's cool, but they were like, no one's going to wear those colors on their eyes and lips. So we're not going to make the makeup itself that color, but we're still going to capitalize on the trend. And I just feel like it's a bit weak sauce. It's a bit uncreative, unappealing, honestly. There's no grit. And it kind of also doesn't look like a luxury brand choice. I would maybe believe it if I saw it from brands at different tiers, like in different spheres of makeup. The whole thing looks a little bit, it looks like an intern's presentation at the boardroom of the beauty exec. I was like, I'll give you one chance. You're an intern, but I'll give you one chance. And then this was the AI generated imagery PowerPoint presentation that the intern came to give. And I was like, I'm glad that you're passionate about your field, but you're going to have to stay as an intern for a while and then like slowly work your way up and learn some things along the way. Like that's how I feel about this. As a suggestion for a holiday makeup release. And that's it for New Makeup Hot Takes for today. I really am keeping my finger on the pulse by checking back in a mere 3 weeks after filming New Makeup Hot Takes before. I will be back again soon because you know, the makeup brands, they start pumping it out at the end of October. Everything's gonna be coming thick and fast over the next couple of weeks, and you know I will have something to say about it. I hope you enjoyed spending this time with me, and I really hope that you're remembering to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.